Alright, well here's my sump tank. It's June 19th, 2018. Here's my other tank with some algae and duckweed on top. I removed all the cabbages from the main grow bed, and I've planted out a bunch of things, which was covered I think in the last video. And so you can compare these plants as they are now with the previous video, which was about a week and a half ago. And I think the cucumbers, I think that one's a cucumber, I forget exactly, but these viney squashy type, they seem to have done very well. That tomato has about doubled in height. That tomato's grown a little bit, but not as much. And that bell pepper here is not grown very much, but the poblano next to it, kind of in line, really has. Here in the bathtub bed, it looks like the gravel has settled over time, or I'm not exactly sure what reason. Maybe there's roots clogging the pipe, but you can see water pooling here, and it's pooling before it drains out and does a flush cycle, I guess you could call it. So this is kind of new. I just tore these plants out about an hour ago, and I've been seeing what's going on with this. I might have to dig out that pipe at the bottom, but I don't want to. So we'll see. And so yeah, I tore out most of those things. I kept the seeds here in a baggie because the plants were getting consumed with aphids. So hopefully those seeds are mature enough, and when they dry out, they'd turn into something viable. The orange tree seems to be doing well as well. Everything that was planted, all the new little babies that were planted into this hydroton bed, have basically been eaten down to the stumps. Here's one, which is actually remarkably putting off what looks like fresh growth from the center, so maybe it's still surviving. It's amazing what these plants can do in aquaponics. I don't know if that's the contributing factor, but alright. And then this little guy seems to be doing okay. There's some snail slime on the leaves, or slug slime, but overall it seems to be faring better than everything else that was in there. The raspberries have continued to grow, and the tallest one is probably 7 to 8 feet tall. No flowers yet. And the garlic is all over in here. Oh gee, looks like it might be getting ready, I don't know. Pull it out, grow some more. I'm not exactly sure how to tell. Apparently it's more art than science, knowing when garlic's ready to harvest, so we'll see how it goes. And the celery is extremely tall. Easy 3 feet, with some red snapdragons that were kind of left over. Of course, the celery got ate to heck, so a lot of the stems have bite marks on them, like that. But a lot of them don't, so I count that as a win in my book. The Chinese horseradish plant is exploding, and it's also super hot, and it's on the same level as wasabi, with a shorter burn duration. There was a little red curly type lettuce right there, which I ate earlier today when it was very nice. Kind of bitter, but pretty good. And then we've got a couple other greens there, and they're all kind of underneath everything, and not a bad thing to slow down the growth there by shading them. And blackberry, thornless blackberry, is growing quite a bit, throwing out a big old branch off to the side over here. Flowers, which are going to turn into berries, yum yum yum. And squash plant's doing good. Slugs did not attack this bed very much, and I think it's because the slugs hang out in the hydroton a lot more than they do in this gravel. And the muskmelon's doing okay. Strawberries are, some of them are crying out saying, iron, iron, iron. Iron. So I put some iron in. Hopefully it's iron. I'm sure someone will correct me. Now, something that's new that's been happening that I've done, of course, there's my compost heap underneath a tree. So my wife likes the tree. I don't like the tree, but my wife likes the tree. So putting all my greens and everything down here it's gonna break down and blah blah blah. Then I thought, why not let those plant remains break down in my mineralization tank and try to recover the nutrients that way. So that's what I've got going on here. I clipped everything. Its majority is recently alive plant material. Some of it's some older stuff that I put in for variety, but most of it's a spider hanging off of me. Oh. Okay, got him. Now he's on my shirt, so he's okay. Oh, variety. And maybe it'll break down and stuff, and then I can recover the nutrients that way. I've seen something like this done before in a mineralization tank, but it was offline. This one's offline. I'm not sure if they were running it aerobic or anaerobic. I think it was aerobic when they were running it, which is the same as mine. The same as this. So, really, my fish don't generate enough solids to really make this tank necessary or useful for water top-ups as it's plumbed for. So the procedure I've kind of worked out here is, as I lose water from the main system, the water level in these sump tanks goes down, down, down. And I've got water in this tank that is from the hose being constantly aerated, maybe with vegetable matter, maybe not. But it's always air. Maybe I put solids in, maybe not. And I'm gonna put some actually put some system water actually in here if I can. Oh, these 1.5-inch valves are beasts. There we go. Full flow. this is to just kind of get some bacteria in there. I don't know if it's doing that or not, but I can hope. Alright, time to close it off. The deeper the water level, the less air gets into the system, so we don't want to bring it up too high. We want to maintain a high airflow. Alright, well, something else that I've done. Oh, I forgot to show the thing I'm the most proud of, or excited for, coming up, which is, check it out, the loganberry. Oh, is no longer green. It's like a salmon pink color, or I don't know. Oh, doesn't that look good? I cannot wait to eat that little guy and all of his little brothers and sisters. Okay. So I did change something here with my filter tanks, and that is I leaned the downspout to the side, to one side, to lower the drainage height elevation of the filter. So basically that just means that there's more of a head drop from the filter barrel in here to the fish tank out there, and it's kind of hard to show the difference, but there is one. And I would say that there's probably a good 1 inch difference between the fish tank, which is 1 inch higher, and the filter barrels, which the water level is about 1 inch lower than the fish tank. And something else that's nice is now that the water level is lower, I can, if I need to, increase my pumping power and run more water through my system in case I need to, but I really don't. In fact, I'm already diverting part of my flow away after the main grow bed. So I've got more pumping power than I know what to do with already. So, and of course here's my fish, goldfish, happy fish, and some catfish, the cherries, and the leaves and the branches keep falling in, which I pick out from time to time, but not religiously. And that's the setup so far. What else to talk about? Nothing else to talk about so far. Hopefully I get some more strawberries.